Okay, so this is the last lesson of the unit, so we're going to talk about how to solve word problems using solving equations. So anytime we're doing a word problem, there are steps that we need to follow to be able to get what we can. So it's a method called grasp. It's a method called GRASP, and the reason why it's called GRASP, it's an acronym for the following. So G stands for given, okay? So basically you're gonna start your problem. After you read your problem, you're gonna write your given information. So you're gonna write down what information they've given you. Let's say they gave you the mass of this apple, right? You're gonna write down m equal to whatever the mass is, okay? So these are given information. They're very important for solving the problem. So what information or values do you know? So that's the first thing you want to write. You want to write this down under given. After the given, you're going to write the required. Okay, so this is usually the required. There's a letter that you're looking for. So what are you solving for? So usually, let's say if the question is asking you to find the speed, then you write S equals with a question mark, okay? Because this is what question is asking you for, so you know what you're looking for. After the required, you're gonna write the analysis. So what the analysis is, it's your formula that you're using, okay? So usually the formula is given to you, or you know it, or you can find it from a formula sheet. Okay? So it's the equation, it's the formula that is given to you that you're going to use. After you write the given information, the required information, and the formula, you're going to solve, right? So this is where you're going to do the math. So you're going to substitute the known values into the equation. So whatever you know from the given, you're going to plug it into the equation, into the analysis, and that would be your solving part. When you're done, you found your answer, you're done, then you're going to write your paraphrase. So you're going to write a therefore statement. You're going to end your question by answering what the question was asking you. Therefore, the distance of blah, blah, blah is this. So you're ending your statement. We call this a paraphrase. And then therefore is kind of, instead of writing therefore, we put these 3 dots on top of each other. So we put a dot and 2 dots under it, and then we write our statement. This represents therefore. So I will be asking you to solve problems like this on the test. The problems, you have to show me the steps. If you don't show me the given, the required, the analysis, if you don't show me all of this, you won't get the full marks. Okay? So each step has a mark. So let's read the question and let's see how we're going to do that. So the formula for aircraft speed is equals d over t, where s is the speed in kilometer per hour, d is the distance traveled in kilometer, and t is the time in hours. So they give you the formula, which is this, and they describe what each letter represents. So s is speed, d is distance, t is time. So I know what I'm looking at. The question is asking you to find the distance traveled by an aircraft cruising at a speed of 428 kilometers per hour for 1.5 hours. So we're going to start by writing down the given information. What do we know? What did they give us? So, what did they give us? What does it represent? S, right? I know that the speed, which is S, is 428 kilometers per hour. So I'm writing that down because these are the given information to me. What else do I know? Do I know the distance? What am I looking for? The question is asking me to find the distance. I don't know what the distance is. But I know that it was traveling at a speed of 428 kilometers per hour for 1.5 hours. What does that 1.5 hour represent? That's time. So I know that t is 1.5 hours. Okay? So far, I wrote my given information. After the given, I'm going to have to look for the required. So what am I looking for? Distance. So all what I have to do is under required, you're going to say distance, I don't know what it is. I'm looking for that. That's why I put a question mark next to it. After the required, we're going to have to do the analysis, right? So the analysis, it's the formula. It's the formula that they have given you to actually find your answer, okay? To solve the problem. So given, required, then we have the analysis. So what's the formula that is given to me that I'm going to have to use? S equals d over t. Right? Multiply by what? We'll talk about in a second, yes. But we'll show you how you get to that, okay? Good. Now, that's all what you have to do for now. After this, we're going to have to solve. So, solve means sub known values into the equation. What do I know? What do I know? Yes. So I know that the speed is 428, right? So I can replace S with 428. Do I know D? So I'm going to write it as D. Do I know T? Yes. 0.5, right? When you're plugging it in, you don't need to write your units down. Okay? You see how I had the units here? You don't need to write the units here because then they're going to confuse you more than they're going to help you. Okay? Now, in order to solve for D, what do I need to do? Multiply, right? I want to get rid of that division by 1.5. What's the opposite of division? So when I bring the 1.5 over, it's going to be multiplied by 1.5, yes? This is what we've been doing for the past week, right? So if I multiply by 1.5, I have to do it for both sides. That will get rid of the 1.5. So what's 428 times 1.5? 642 equals to D. Wow, I didn't know. If I meant to do that, it won't do it. All right, so basically I'm done. I solved for the distance. All what I have to do right now is I have to do a therefore statement. So I'm going to have to say, therefore, the distance traveled by the aircraft is 642 kilometers. Which stuff? Yes. Make sure you include your unit in your therefore statement. Okay? So you don't have to write like given required analysis solve. You can write GRAS, right? You don't have to write the whole thing. I usually go with GRASP. I just want to write it for the first time for you guys, but you can write GRASP. Yes, because I want to see where you're writing them. Okay?